Yes, you have to include a cover letter. Come on, people. Hey guys, my name is Laura. If you are new here, then welcome. This is not how I normally look. I'm not usually in gym attire. I'm about to go work out. I just wanted to film this video before I go and do that. Threw on some makeup and yeah, I just have a pretty busy day. So apologize for the appearance. Moving on from it. So as you guys know, I have been working on a whole series on how to get your dream teaching job at the perfect school for you. And this is the second video in the series, and it's going to be all about resume tips and tricks and what you should include on your resume. But before I go ahead and share those with you guys, I wanted to just briefly talk about the last video. So the last video I shared with you guys is kind of what to do on how to decide what schools to apply for and what's important to you before actually applying to them. So go and check that out. I have a link in the description to my playlist for this series, so definitely check that out and subscribe so you don't miss any of the future videos in the series or future videos I create. But I guess let's just jump into it. So the very first thing obviously you're gonna include is the basic info. So your name, the address you currently live at, your email, your phone number, include all that basic information. I know that's like a silly thing, like some people actually forget to do that and then they wonder why they never get a phone call from the school. It's because you didn't include your phone number or your email, so include that. Second thing is to include your degree or degrees. So I personally have 2 degrees. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree, so make sure you include that. Bonus tip is if you have a pretty good or decent GPA, include it on there to show yeah, you did get that degree, but you also worked hard at getting it. You weren't just doing the bare minimum to get by. So the third thing you want to include, or you could include, you don't have to, but this is just what I've done in the past, is your affiliations or your kind of clubs, things you belong to. Now, don't just include anything, but make sure that it relates back to the school. So some examples is I included Relay for Life on mine because that shows that I have a philanthropic background. I love to raise money for American Cancer Society, and that's something that I've been doing since high school, so definitely want to include that. I also have my sorority on there. Not everyone belongs to a sorority, but you never know, that person interviewing you, the teacher, the principal, whoever it is, could have been a part of your sorority or have a liking toward the idea of being in a sorority, and so that might give you a leg up on the competition as well. You never know, so I choose to include it. The fourth thing that I include on my resume, and I think you should include, is special skills. Yes, you can list off all those keywords like differentiation, organization, time management, things like that. Yeah, you could include those. Definitely for sure include some of those because that's important. But you definitely want to include at least 1 or 2 special ones. So for example, I always include flipped classroom because I used a flipped classroom in my 4th grade classroom, and I think that sets me apart from a lot of teachers because not a lot of teachers use a flipped classroom method in elementary school. Be careful with that one. You don't want to just put any special skill on there because some principals will ask you about it and you're gonna have to back it up with some examples. So don't lie about it. Do ones that you actually have. If you don't have any, look into researching some and list some that you want to do, and then when the principal asks you about it, you can say, well, I was looking into flipped classroom this summer and I read a whole book and I would really look forward to trying to implement that in your school, in my classroom next year if you were to hire me. Something along those lines. The 6th thing that I always choose to include, and I like to include this at the top of my resume, is kind of like my teaching statement or teaching philosophy. This is just a brief description of what you believe teaching and education is. I think that this definitely kind of helps you pinpoint what the school wants. So with this, if you really want to work at a specific school and you know that they are very big into the whole child, make sure in your philosophy you say that you believe in teaching the whole child. If you don't research the school and you didn't know that their statement is that they believe in teaching the whole child, and you don't include that in theirs, and they read your teaching philosophy and it says, hey, I like teaching academics, making sure that students have a strong basis, whatever you say, they're gonna say, oh, well, they're more focused on the academics versus we want someone who teaches to the whole child. So that's just an example. Not every school is like that, but I would definitely try to look at what the school wants and pinpoint that in your teaching philosophy or teaching statement. The next thing, which is like the biggest section and should be the biggest section, and it's usually what people think of when they think of resumes, is the experience section. So this could be teaching related, or it could be actual teaching experience, just depending on where you're at in your career. I'm not going to say too much on this because it's pretty self-explanatory. Include, if you've worked at a school, include the school's name or the company's name, like if you've daycared or babysat or whoever. Include the dates that you worked there for, include anything, a brief description of what you did there. The bonus tip that I want to say here with this one is try to fit that experience that you have to the school. Again, you got to do the research. Look at what the school is into. If the school is really big into STEM and you did STEM when you taught 3rd grade last year, make sure you write that you taught STEM and you did STEM projects in that 3rd grade classroom. Place a focus on it. Tailor it to the school that you want to work at. If you don't have anything in your experience that you've done that matches up well with the school, that's okay. Just write a brief description, but try to stand out. Try to say something special that you've done. So for me, I always go back to that flipped classroom thing. Not a lot of teachers do it, so I really focused in my 4th grade description on that I did a flipped classroom that then turned into daily data tracking, which is important to a lot of schools right now, data tracking. I also had a very special experience when I substituted in a 2nd grade classroom previously. I got to work with an intern in the class, so that was really fun because I got to kind of be the internship model teacher for a little while. So I included that. That was something special, and that's not something that necessarily a school is gonna look for, but it's definitely something that makes me stand out to say, yes, I do teach kids, but I can also teach other people and help them learn as well. So just goes on with professional development and stuff like that. So if you have a special experience or something that stands out other than, oh, well, I do lesson plans, differentiation, include it. If you don't have something like that, that's okay. Just include what you do have and what you have done, because a school out there will hire you and will take a chance on you, or they may really want someone who is new and fresh, because then they can mold them a little bit more. The last section that I always include at the bottom of my resume is my certification / awards section. I only ever include what I'm certified in there. I don't include any awards or anything like that because I feel like that's something you more talk about in your interview. However, I know some teachers have included like specific awards. So as far as certifications go, definitely include like if you're certified elementary ed, or if you're certified reading, if you're endorsed in reading and endorsed in ESOL. That's a big thing because a lot of schools right now are, especially in Florida, I don't know about other states, are requiring that teachers be certified, at least one teacher on each grade level be certified in reading. So if you are endorsed or even fully certified in reading, include that, because that might help you get the job if they don't have anyone who's certified in it already. So include those things at the bottom in that section. And then some teachers who already have teaching experience may have gotten awards like Teacher of the Year or things like that. Definitely include those there, those big ones. But I don't have any of those yet, so I don't get to include them. So my last little tips and suggestions here for you guys is, yes, you have to do a cover letter. I know a lot of people are like, do I have to? I don't know. I'm filling out all this information for my resume, and then also attaching my resume, and then having to fill out all these extra little things on the online applications. Do I really need a cover letter? Yes, include it. It makes you look a little bit more professional, and it gives you a little bit extra explanation time to where you can explain how you would fit well at their school. So use that cover letter. Look specifically at the school that you're applying to and the job that you're applying to. So for example, I applied to a 4th grade math position this go around of interviews, and I specifically said in my cover letter to that school that I have worked in a 4th grade classroom, and I did flipped classroom in there, and I did daily data tracking, and that definitely was brought up during the interview. So that cover letter gave me a chance to explain it a little bit more, and I think helped me get that interview. So tailor it to the job, tailor it to the school. You may have to rewrite the letter and tweak it a little bit for each job that you're applying to, but it'll be worth it in the end. Has this whole thing been out of focus? No, I don't think so. So my next video that I'm gonna be coming out with is kind of what to do after you've hit that apply button and submitted your application. It's not just as simple as hitting submit and then you get an interview. It usually takes a little bit more than that. So stay tuned for that video. I will definitely have it linked in the playlist once it comes out. So if you're watching this video later on after it comes out, check that one out. And what else? I think that's it for this video, but anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give it a like if you did, and feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos and my Getting That Teacher Job series. If you have any video requests, leave them in the comments below and I will definitely be sure to get around to them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Gotta go work out.